Amazon has a brand new part of their platform that allows you to live stream and earn affiliate commission on any products you sell. You have the ability to link those products and earn those direct commissions while you're on air and create your own version of a home shopping network type show where you can be creating your community. And the cool thing is that Amazon streams this directly to their website. They will show you to people who are not coming to you directly from your following. And as you raise up in the ranks of the Amazon system, you're going to be shown to more and more people and have more and more opportunities offered to you. So now is a great time to jump into this because there's not a ton of really high-level affiliates or high-level influencers involved with this just yet. This is still relatively new, which means we have the opportunity to really leverage this platform to our benefit. Now, earlier this week, we sent a video out to our main channel where I educate you on how to grow on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok and all the live streaming platforms so that you can level up what you're doing to really enhance your brand and business. And I broke down exactly what you need to know in order to live stream on the platform. So check that video out first if you have not. And now we're going to get into some best practices so that now that you know what to do to go live, you can actually really level up your live streaming very quickly to raise yourself in the ranks. And make sure you stay tuned to the very end because I think my last tip is going to be the most valuable one that I can give you. Now, the first thing we need to be aware of when it comes to best practices for Amazon live streaming is that this is very different than every other type of live stream where you're intentionally trying to be conversational and to build trust and build up your brand. With this type of live streaming, your entire goal is to make sales. They want you to be very salesy. They want you to be relational and conversational while you're doing it, but the optimal goal here is to sell multiple products during your live stream. So if you jump on and you have a conversation or you're chatting with people before you get into the actual selling part, Amazon's not going to love that. So you do have to earn your way up in the ranks to get more activity going on your page, to get shown to more people, to have more opportunities, and to have access to more features. So you have to play by Amazon's rules, which means we are going hardcore on the selling. So right from the very beginning, you gotta get in there and let people know this is what we're talking about, here's what we're selling, all the links are down below, you can click them, we're gonna highlight things as we go, and really make that strong sales pitch right from the very beginning, which is the actual opposite of everything else we teach you for live streaming on any other platform. So keep in mind, this is very strongly sales-minded and you have to get into it right away when you start your live stream. And on that note, you need to constantly be reminding people during your live stream that all of the products you're talking about during that stream are connected to the live stream. Now, this is something that you're going to need to watch that other video for, so I've linked that down in the description box for you. And I'm actually showing you that you need to be linking these products. You can do it directly within the app, and then you can highlight them. So when it displays your live stream on Amazon, whether it's the main Amazon website or the app, you will have those products connected to it through your affiliate link, and you can highlight them. It's going to show it on the side, on the desktop, or underneath on the app. And it's just going to allow people to scroll through, see what you're talking about. And if you are talking about a specific thing, you highlight it and it's displayed prominently under or next to that live stream so people can easily click on it. So you have to continually remind people it's there, and they don't even have to leave your stream to look at it. They can simply one-click it if they want and buy whatever version of it works best for them. So this is a great way to earn those affiliate commissions, but you have to continually give that call to action. Every couple of minutes, you should be talking about that. Every time you talk about a new product, remind them that it's highlighted on the screen if they want more specs on it or information on it, or if they want to buy it, if they want to add it to a wish list. They can do all those things, but you have to continually remind them every single time you pull something new up on screen to talk about it. And even if you're not talking about a ton of different products, continually remind them during the course of your conversation, because that's what Amazon is looking for, and that's how you're going to make those sales. And when it comes to your live streaming, you have to remember longer is going to be better on Amazon. In fact, they have specifically said they want live streams for 1 hour or more. And that doesn't mean you can't do a shorter live stream, but it does mean it's not going to be ranked as high as the other live streams. And if you consistently do lower than an hour live streams, they're probably not going to want to represent you as much on the platform. So they're looking for what seems to be a full television hour of that conversation. And bonus pro tip, if you can go over that hour mark, you're actually going to catch other people's attention, because when people are on Amazon Live, They're looking for a show to watch. They're there for that full hour. Once a show ends, they're going to start to look for another show to watch. So if you can start off kilter of what other people are doing, so at a slightly different time, if everybody starts at the top of the hour, if you start at the bottom of the hour or on the 30-minute mark, then go for an hour, you're going to catch that extra audience as they leave one live stream and come over to yours. You can also do this by extending that time. So if you go over an hour, if you go an hour and 15 minutes or an hour and a half, you're going to catch that extra audience. So the longer you can go, the better, but you also have to have enough products to fill that conversation. You should be reiterating what you're talking about and talking about products more than once throughout the course of your live stream. But you want to make sure that you have enough to fill that hour. It shouldn't be one product for a full hour because nobody's going to stick around for that. So you want to make sure that you're actually treating this like some kind of home shopping network show where you're showing off multiple things during the hour, having lots of conversations, and you're able to highlight all of those products. So go the full hour whenever possible and go over whenever possible as well for best results. Another thing that you want to keep in mind is that you should be having visuals up on your platform while you're live streaming. I am talking overlays, I'm talking backgrounds, I'm talking pre-recorded videos, visual cues that you can put up on your screen for people to look at. And yes, you do have the ability to stream right through your phone or through your iPad, but you can't do any of the fancy things with it. Now that does not mean that you have to have fancy things. What I'm saying is this is going to enhance what you're doing and keep people focused on what you're talking about, especially for speaking directly to camera. If you do not have a ton of products to show and you're not walking around a lot and you're not doing a lot of very active things, putting things up on screen is really going to facilitate that conversation. So I do recommend that you have your logo on screen. I do recommend that you have maybe a theme on screen. If you are simulcasting to multiple locations, you're actually able to pull up user questions through a third-party app like Restream or BeLive, which I'll link down below for you, and we talk about and break down in that other video, so make sure you check that out. You have the ability to pull up those questions so that people can see them. Now you can't do that directly from Amazon because when you use a stream key, it doesn't pull in those comments, unfortunately, but you do have the ability to highlight the other platforms if you are simulcasting in multiple locations and then driving them over to your Amazon page. So I do encourage you to create a system where you can be putting things up on screen. I love to show off the products. Yes, I'm holding them up. Maybe if it's an outfit, I'm trying it on. Maybe if it is some other thing I'm using to cook, whatever it happens to be, they're gonna get a good look at it. You're able to spin it around and turn it. But to level up, to be that professional edge, to stand out among the crowd, having that graphic displayed very clearly with a high-resolution professional photo is going to look really, really good compared to just kind of holding things up for your phone as you're talking about them. So anything you can do to level up and set you apart is really going to help you out, because remember, when people come to Amazon, they are just browsing through what they see. They're looking for good quality thumbnails, and if it gets their attention, maybe they'll click on it. And if you've got a cool background and you're doing interesting things for them, maybe they'll stick around. But if you look more professional, they're more likely to stick around for you. Again, you don't have to have this, but I highly recommend it because you can do things like play pre-recorded videos. So let me give you an example. Let's say you are doing fall fashion on Amazon and you've got a rack of really cute clothes and you're wearing one of the outfits and you're holding up the rest of them, or maybe you're even putting them on a mannequin. That's really great because you're going to be able to show off the cute outfits, but you're probably not going to be able to switch outfits while you're on air, because that means you're going to have to leave camera and you're going to have to go take off an outfit and put on a new outfit, and it's a big process where you're no longer on screen. Instead, you have the ability to actually put a pre-recorded video of you in that outfit on screen. You don't have to do any outfit changes while you're on air, but you can still show them how it looks, how it moves, how the skirt twirls as you're walking, or how you are able to style things a little bit differently with whatever it is you happen to be wearing. So you give them that video example, but you're still on camera, you're still speaking directly to them, and you don't have to worry about outfit changes during the course of your show. You can just use that video, or you can put photos up. You can show other things and overlays and backgrounds and imagery, and you can screen share things if you want while you're on air. So you want to make sure that you are leveling up whenever possible, and I highly recommend using a third-party app like Restream or BeLive in order to do this. Again, all that info is for you down below, but it's definitely going to elevate what you're doing on your live stream and get you noticed by people watching on Amazon and by the Amazon people who decide your fate when it comes to leveling up in the ranks. And speaking of having things on air to show, you actually are required by Amazon to have the majority of the things that you're talking about on air. If you're trying to sell something, you actually have have to have it. So you don't have the ability to just say, let's go shopping together and browse through Amazon and say, maybe this would be a good fit. Let's try this together. They want you to actually have the physical product. Remember, this is very much like a Home Shopping Network QVC type show where they want you displaying what you're talking about. So if you are showing off a book, you've got the book, you can hold it up, you can show people. If you are showing off a dress, you've got that dress, you have the ability to show people what it looks like. If you are showing off things along the lines of a cooking show, you're cooking and actually using those products in the conversation that you're having so that people can see it in motion, how it works, how it's going to be working for them, so that it is going to be more of a sales pitch or a better sales pitch where people know that you have it, you trust it, you actually believe in this thing and you're representing it and you're not just trying to make a buck off of them. So it is very important to have at least the majority, if not everything, in your live stream. And sometimes these rules kind of change. Sometimes they hint that you need this way or that way. So pay attention to what Amazon is saying. But it's very, very important for that trust factor to have those things in hand so you can actually show people and represent what it is in real time so that they can see the fabric of the shirt that they are wearing, or they can see the consistency of the food that they are cooking with the ingredients that they got from Amazon. They want to see what it is in real time, so show them in real time to make those sales. And of course, when it comes to your live streaming, it's great if you can do live streams on your own, but if you have the availability, I highly recommend having a co-host, having someone else on screen with you. That leads to conversation, so it's not just you talking at your audience all the time. You actually get to have those conversations with people. And bonus pro tip, one of you can host while the other is producing the show. That means that you don't have to work every single button while you're also hosting and selling these products and talking about them and showing them off, because that can get a little overwhelming, especially if you're newer to the world of live streaming. So you want to make sure that whenever possible, you've got somebody on screen with you just to come on and chat about it and ask questions and have conversation. That way you have the ability to make sure you're paying attention to the buttons and the comments and you're monitoring the app while you're live streaming and all of these things. Having those conversations is definitely going to help what you are doing on your live stream, and it will get people's attention because it's more fun to talk with multiple people than it is to talk with one. So if you're bringing the party right on screen, they're going to jump in and have those conversations with you in the comments as well. So you definitely do not have to have a co-host. A lot of times I do not have a co-host. I go on live by myself. But if you have the ability to do so, it's way more fun and it makes your job as the host and producer way easier. So if you can bring people into this, do some cross promotion, have those conversations, bring the party to your people, and really level up what you're doing and free yourself up to not have to do every single task by yourself and host at the same time, because that can get a little bit overwhelming and can lead to some stumbling on air as well. So if you have the availability to get somebody to join you, absolutely do. Now remember a couple of tips ago how we talked about it's really important to level up what you're doing and have that really good brand awareness on your live stream? I want to really drill down on this one. So it's incredibly important to have your logo on your live stream. And there are a couple of different things we need to be aware of, because when you stream on Amazon, the placement of things on screen might be a little bit different than where you're live streaming in other locations. Remember, on YouTube, when you're putting things there, you do not want to block where they have the subscribe button. You do not want to block where your user comments are coming up. When you're live streaming on Amazon, you want to make sure you are not blocking anything that they have on screen. So I have found the best place to put your logo is that top left-hand corner. And if you have multiple guests on, you want to make sure it's small enough that it's not going to be over someone's face while you have them on screen. But having something there is going to be the best place to catch visual interest because it doesn't have any of Amazon's overlays in the way. Now there are other places you can put it on air as well, but you want to make sure that you are testing this out. So watch other people's live streams. Where are they putting their logos? Where are they putting their words? Where are they putting their graphics? And is it being blocked by things Amazon has? This can change throughout the course of time. So it's entirely possible that Amazon is changing up how their live streams are working and the overlays that they're putting on it. So make sure you are continually checking up on this. Every once in a while, just watch other people's live streams, watch your own live streams, and see if things are being blocked and adjust adjust from there. So while I'm telling you where to put it right now, that could be different in the future. So if you are watching this later on, this might be something that you want to be looking into before just jumping into it, because it's entirely possible that it has changed. Your logo is incredibly important to let people know who you are, because Amazon's not going to tell them, and unless they recognize your face, they're not going to know you. So it's very, very wise to make sure that you have your branding associated with this, and if you put more things than just your logo on, that's going to let people know what you do. So you could potentially put on words on your screen that say when you go live on Amazon, or what type of live stream it is, or what you're known for in your brand. Maybe you are the fashion person and every single week you are doing fashion finds from Amazon. Or maybe you are a cooking person and every single week you do a cooking show. Or maybe you do multiple types of things and you talk about fashion and tech and whatever. Put those things on your screen so that people know who you are, and work with your branding and work with your logo so that people very clearly know why they should be following you right now and why they should keep coming back. We've talked a little bit about best practices for while you're on air, but there's a couple of things about the way that you're filming that we need to be talking about as well. So when it comes to your background really matters. It's what's going to get people's attention, because there's lots of people live streaming on Amazon, and if you look professional, people will stick around. And if it looks like you're just hanging out somewhere in your house that you haven't cleaned and you didn't get ready and you didn't prepare for this live stream and you're just kind of like hand holding your camera and going, that's going to be a problem. People aren't going to stick around for that. So your background is incredibly important, especially for getting the right audience. So let's say I'm representing my books. A bookcase is a good place for me to be, but let's say I'm representing my fashion stuff. If I'm doing fashion, the bookcase may not be my best choice. I may want to use a freestanding closet with those fashion items hanging behind me and make it look like it's a closet, or make it look like it is some type of display for fashion, as if I had walked into a boutique. You want to make sure that your background is representative of what you're talking about. And it doesn't have to be like a big, huge deal, but keep in mind when it comes to your background, there are things you need to be aware of. And I've got some resources linked for you down below, because we talk about that all the time on Livestream Action Plan, how to create your own backgrounds for just a couple of dollars, how to leverage what you've already got in your house. We talk about all that and break all that down for you here. So you want to make sure that you're using a good and recognizable background. That's really key here. You want to make sure that it's not just a boring, average background. If it looks like everybody else's background, people are not going to remember that. So for me, I often use my bookshelf because they're so recognizable. The way that they're designed, the books on them, the way that I've got the floral aspects to it. When people see that, even if I'm not on screen, even if I'm not in those photos, they recognize that as me and my brand. When I'm showing them other areas of my office where I'm working, where I record, they remember it because it is so memorable. It's related to me. So you want to have some interesting things that really stand out and grab people's attention. If all fails, if everything fails, if you have no other way of doing this, you can use just a solid blank background, but you do have to step up what you're doing to make sure you look more professional with that. And I know the mindset is, oh, it's a blank background, it's more professional. It's not. It's actually less relatable, less memorable, and it's going to convert less for you in a lot of cases. So if you can level up, that's great. If you have to use a blank background, that's fine too. Make sure you are prepared for that. You've got that good lighting, which we're going to talk about in just a second. And make sure that you are leveling up what you're saying and what you're doing and how you're doing it, because you're going to have to be extra engaging to get people's attention and extra engaging to make you look more professional on that. But we talked a little bit about lights for just a second there. Let's actually get into that. Your lighting is incredibly important when it comes to live streams, because if people can't see you clearly, they are not going to stick around. If it looks like you are just live streaming in your house with the harsh overhead lights with that yellowy color, that's not going to be good. If it's dark and they can't see you and your feed is pixelated, that's not good. So you have to have some type of lighting source that's going to work to your benefit, and really make sure it shows off everything, because remember, this is a sales pitch. We're selling things on these live streams, and if people can't clearly see things, they're not going to buy, and they're certainly not going to stick around. So I have lots of information on proper lighting for live streaming at any budget. We talk about natural lighting versus artificial lighting versus where you should start and where you can grow. I've got all that linked for you down below, but be aware, lighting is absolutely essential. You have to have good lighting, because if they can't see the things, they're not going to buy the things. And again, it doesn't matter what your budget is, we can level up your live stream lighting as you go, and I show you how to start from the basics. So make sure you check out those videos. I'll link them down in the description box for you. Now keep in mind, as you're live streaming on Amazon, your goal is to build up your audience and to get people to come join you while you are live. Yes, they can watch the replays, but you gotta get people on your live show if you want to grow on the platform, especially because Amazon is looking for how many people are joining you on a daily, weekly, whatever basis. So that comes back to, how do we build that audience? Aside from giving really great content, really great tips, really great conversation, you need to be creating a schedule for your live streams. And that doesn't mean you can't do surprise live streams or in the moment live streams. You 100% can. But growing your audience means training them to show up at the same time, same place, same day, every single week, every single day. If you are only live streaming once a month, you're not going to make a lot of money on this platform, and you're probably not going to level up. You do need to be live streaming weekly at minimum, or daily if you really want to grow quickly. Remember, every time you go live, you're representing these products, you are going to be making that affiliate commission from them, and you're going to be building up your audience. So the more you show up, the faster you're going to grow. So I do recommend creating a schedule for yourself where it makes sense. If you are busy, and most of us are, plan once a week. Plan one live stream per week, and every single week, Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, you are going to do that live stream. That's my live stream time, but feel free. You do want to make sure you're training people to show up, and every single time you go live, talk about that big live stream. Talk about what you do at that day, that time, that place, to remind people to show up and to set alarms on their phones and remind themselves to come to join you for these events. But you also want to make sure you're doing some extras throughout the course of the week. So if you're looking to grow, start with once a week. Plan it, let everybody know, put that in your schedule. Then as you're able, add in other live streams. And that doesn't mean just in the moment. It means you can plan to do these on Mondays, and you can plan to do them on Wednesdays, and you can plan whatever it is, and just know for yourself. And you can market these as well so that your audience will come join you. But when you're talking about your live streams on Amazon, refer to the one big one. Then build yourself up. As you're learning your schedule and your abilities and what works and your times that are going to work really well for you and what products sell really well for you, then you can start to establish more. You can start to establish a daily routine, whatever it happens to be, but start small and build up from there. Just remember, the key, the most essential thing here is to have a weekly scheduled live stream. One big live stream per week or per day if you're that person, and market that every single time. Build that one up and then use the rest as supplemental content. Always, always, always build it into your schedule, and without fail, go live on those days at that time to build up your platform. Now, I told you when we started this video that the last tip I was going to give you is probably the most essential and important tip that I could be giving you for an Amazon live stream. And I need you to listen here, because this is going to change and really up-level what you're doing. And keep in mind, for more tips on how to grow on Amazon live streams, hit the subscribe and notification bell here and over on the main channel where I'm helping you to level up with all of your social platforms so that you can grow and create more profit. And when you are doing your live streams, specifically on Amazon, but also for any live stream anywhere, if you are doing things where you're walking around and you're walking away from your camera and microphone source, you are not going to be heard as clearly as when you're close to it. You're going to lose that audio. While lighting is incredibly important so people can see things, if they can't hear you, that's going to be a problem too. So here's what you need to be thinking of when you're going to be doing this. If you're live streaming where you're sitting down or you're standing in one location and you're not going to be walking away to get things or to show things off, you're fine. Do what you need to do. You live stream the way that we typically live stream. If, however, you're moving around, if you're going to be turning and looking away from the camera, if you're going to be turning around, if you're going to be walking back to a closet or across your kitchen or whatever it happens to be, you're going to lose that audio. The way to make sure you're not losing the audio is to mic yourself up. And when I say that, I do not necessarily mean you need a microphone. You don't need a lapel mic. You don't need like a Yeti mic. You don't need that. What you can do is use your earbuds. You want wireless earbuds, so like your AirPods are going to be really great for that. And you're just going to pop them in. You can hear things if you've got a guest or whatever it happens to be, but the microphone is right here. So when you turn back to the closet or when you're reaching over here in the kitchen for your utensil, you are going to be moving, but your microphone moves with you, so that it will always pick up your audio. I have watched live streams on Amazon where I've had people walk across the room to go get something from their closet and we couldn't hear what they were saying. Don't be that person. Have the earbuds in if you need them. The microphone is attached because it's wireless. You can walk whatever length you need and you're good to go. Now you can do this with something like an expensive product, like an Apple product, or you can do just like cheap little earbuds, but test your audio when you do that first to make sure it's going to work. So record yourself, just pull up like QuickTime or something and record yourself walking around your room where it's going to pick up your audio, just to make sure before you do your live stream, if you're using a cheaper pair of AirPods or earbuds, so that you know what does and doesn't work and how far you can go before it starts to kind of crackle up on you. This is going to allow people to hear you at all times, even when you are walking away. So hit that subscribe and notification bell. We're going to break down even more about how you can not only succeed but thrive on Amazon live streams in our upcoming videos, as we help you here with Livestream Action Plan, so that you never ever have to worry about what you're going to say on your live streams. You can just go live at any given time and make sure you're building community and conversation. Livestream Action Plan is all about done with you live streams to make sure that you're confident every single time you go on air. Head over to the website for more, and I'll see you in the next video.